So this week we're in Tokyo. Yeah, I'm back in my second home in Tokyo. So we're out of the forest. We usually film by the fire. And we will have the 5D, 5-dimensional updates in section 2. And now we're gonna go directly into this week for your sign, filmed in Tokyo during Mercury retrograde. A lot of challenges communication-wise, a lot of love for us all if we dare to open up. Welcome to the show. Welcome to your sign. Hi there, Virgo, and welcome to this week's astrological forecast with your modern shaman, Maria in RainbowLand. Astrological, intuitive, and with tarot cards. I'm here in Japan, in Tokyo. I'm surrounded by loved ones, especially my amazing partner. For the last time, I'm gonna be in this house where we have lived since August last year. As you can see, it's a traditional Japanese house. This room is a tatami room, and here you can have the feet into the table, into the ground, when you sit around the table. Of course, they have this little section with the shisen nature, where they adore. But we have our crystal and this ball, and it's kind of my shaman room, and I have my crystals over there. Our crystals I share everything, of course, with my loved ones. But so I'm sitting over here now. I'm still a little jet lagged. It's always like that. I'm going back to Denmark to another operation. But how are you doing with your ruler in retrograde? This week we are having a lot of luck, and as I'm recording this, I've also had that, of course, difficulties with your ruler retrograde as well. So it's a mixed week, a mixed bag again this week. But we will start the week off with the luck combination of Jupiter and the Sun together in Sagittarius, and that is in your family section with your home and family life. So this can definitely bring good fortune to you, some really good surprise. Maybe you'll get a news around that your partner is pregnant, or you'll have kids, you'll move, the family situation will improve somehow. Just very good aspects in the beginning of the week. But it's a potentially, I don't want to promise anything. It's always like a potential of, if you take advantage of them, or if there's not something in your personal chart that, of course, I don't know, because I'm just generalizing the sun sign. So you also have to yourself maybe look a little more into astrology if you want to. It's always a good idea, in my opinion. By the way, let's look at the room instead of me, just a second. So anyway, something good about your personal life, where you live, and etc. will come to you. But Mars is in opposition to your sign. So someone who will force you around some kind of issue you're tender about, and get your arms up, in the defensive mode, could come. So if someone in the family wants something with you, or want you to do something, you have to try to be patient and understanding. And there's also a quarter moon in your sign, and that can make you frustrated in the latter part of this week. I'm sorry for the light, it's weird in here with this, But with Mercury retrograde, of course, misunderstandings can happen. So be cool and try not to be too defensive. Look at these. This is paper walls. You can just burst right through them if you want to. And also here, this is paper. This is made by paper. The doors. Anyways, so be cool, not be too defensive, and just let any suggestions run right through you, and not stop and make you react. So when you think about whatever you want to answer instead of react, act instead of react, the answers are gonna be better. But Mars is still in a good aspect with Saturn, though, this week. So this means that maybe someone you're good with socially or creatively, like a very solid person, is gonna... this tie you have with this person can be really very good for you. Let's draw tarot card of the week. So tarot card of the week for the Virgos. And I'll start with the astrology card of the week for the Virgos. By the way, if you ever noticed this, it's a rainbow obsidian stone I got from my loved one, and a rose quartz. I love the stones. As you saw, the amethyst during the program. Big amethyst. Card of the week, astrology card of the week, not tarot. We'll start with the astrology card and then tarot card of the week for the Virgos. Let's see. Virgo. Saturn. The truth. That's nice. It's nice with Saturn because we wanted Saturn. Oh, now I got some light. I could turn on the light. Got the Saturn good aspect with my Mars, but let's see what the other card has to say. Tarot card. Let's put it here. So, yeah, I hope you're doing good, Virgos. I'm sending you a big hug from Tokyo. And we have to remember we get what we give. Of course, it's easy for me to say with Venus in Pisces, so it's easy for me to share love unconditionally. I was given a lot of love from childhood. Through a contact with the divine, I was brought up with faith. Chaos and faith. Life of a light worker. Shaman. That's what makes you good at. If you've had chaos in your life, even though us Virgos, I have the moon and the Saturn and North Northern Virgo. I'm not a Virgo, but I'm a Virgo in my feminine side. We like to have order and structure, but the chaos can bring us answers that our mind can't. So we have to allow the chaos to end sometimes and not consider it just a bad thing. Tarot card of the week for the Virgos. Let's see. Ooh. The moon. How appropriate is that? I'm talking about chaos. Let's turn on the slide, otherwise I'll go. Oh, maybe okay. It's okay. It's better than you can see the cards. So, I'm just talking about chaos. The moon is chaos and creativity. Because from the chaos we get the genius. And the moon is the fastest moving through the zodiac. So very shifty, very chaotic. Emotions are chaotic, right? They're not rational, so they can be chaotic. And here we have it with Saturn, the truth. These two don't play well together. Because they're in opposition. Saturn rules Capricorn in opposition to the moon that rules the Cancer, and they're in opposition. So he wants structure. He wants the realistic things that you can count upon, the earthy energy. Here we have the water energy that's chaotic and female, feminine, emotional, intuitive. So you have to make these two sides work together, just as I just said while I was talking about. In order to really get the brilliant ideas, because this is the ruler of your 4th house where everything is going on, and this is the big, very good aspect between your 5th house, the Saturn to Mars in your 7th. If you want things to be good in your life, the cards for this week suggest that you really try to balance your feminine and masculine side. You need for structure and order, and then your ability to let go and let your emotions out and up to the surface. Don't follow trends. Follow your heart, and it's in your 5th house where you follow your heart, is what it says. See you in section 2 of the program, Virgo. Welcome to section 2, 5D updates for you. So as I said before, Mars is in Pisces now, since the 15th of November. That is the 12th house collectively. And as we're talking about the 5D, and this is a program where we will every week go into how to upgrade and update your 5D, then prayer is something very important here. The 5D, the 12th house, is essential. So Mars being our actions, our motivation, getting things done with self-esteem, wanting to push forward, energy, then yes, of course, we need to talk about Mars and Pisces in regards to the 5D upgrade. With Mars and Pisces, we are less motivated to go after the 3D goals. We're more motivated to pursue the spiritual, or more emotional drives during this cycle. And it's gonna go on until we reach January, where Mars is returning to Aries. So we should always try, or we could always try, to take advantage of wherever a planet goes, and whenever a planet enters a certain field, there's certain doors that just opens that much easier. That's why I make these reports, for you to be notified about what you can take advantage of now. Our energy during a phase like this is more variable rather than straightforward, and also up and down. We dislike confrontation during this period, which is good, because Mars often gets into a battlefield. So, we often put other people's needs ahead of our own during this cycle. So that is our more idealistic side that comes to the forefront. But prayer has also got to do with the 12th house. And why is it important to pray? And what is prayer? Well, a prayer keeps us connected with our higher selves, that knows which way we are meant to go, and thereby detaches us from our egos, the source of our desires being our egos and wishes, that are often disconnected with conscious and fully open contact with Source, Creator, Master, God, whatever you want to call it. We're reminded of what we came here to this planet Earth, this beautiful planet, to develop towards on the path. Well, if we surrender ourselves 100% completely, as we close our eyes and quiet our minds and say a prayer, you might have a fixed prayer, or you will have a prayer that is a prayer of your heart, coming from your heart. Maybe it's a prayer for someone else that you love to be in a better state or to get well. A prayer is always that much stronger when it comes from the true space of an open mind and open heart. Because if it stems from the ego, you will probably attract something that your ego needs and not your higher self, and that won't ever get you going any further forward. So of course, before finding out what you want to pray to, I mean, within different traditions, there are different prayers already handed to us if we need help. But it's a good idea to get to know that you're in contact with that side of yourself that you really want to move forward with, so that your prayer also get aligned with that. Let's say you choose to pray for that you can be less selfish and more selfless. It can also be that you pray for that you are less reactive and more responsive from the heart. It can also be that you want to go from restlessness into peacefulness, from darkness into light, or from heaviness to lightness. These would be the kind of prayers that would come from your higher self. These are the kind of prayers that our higher selves often wish for, because the higher self knows that if we make prayers like this, it's the same as getting fully into alignment with our higher selves. Because our higher selves are light, are peaceful, are selfless. That is the essence. What we are outside of our 3D bodies, our ego, our mind. I'm not saying that we should not use the mind I'm just saying that there should be a balance, a natural balance. It is not natural for a tool to be in charge, and the mind is a tool we can use when we need it. We made it as us, as something that we identify with. But it is not. We can close the door and open it only when we need this tool. There are places where it's easier for us to connect with our higher selves. For instance, where I usually do the reports, the weekly reports, is in the nature, or where I have been doing it for the last months since I went away from Tokyo last time. So much easier because in nature we are in harmony with ourselves because it's natural there. Our heart beats naturally, our breath gets into natural alignment with all there is. Sometimes in the bigger cities, when we're around people who are also affected by the inevitable noise and vibrations coming from all sides, disturbing our natural harmony, well, the ego takes over so much more easy. This week, for the first week in a long time, I'm filming from Tokyo, but also here I can see the beauty. Even though we have modern buildings, you can see the aesthetics and the beauty and how they're shaped, and the lights in the night. Find what is mysterious here. Find what calls for the heart. Find what makes you sing. Find the nameless in this city full of names and signs. You can give yourself the time to let time fly. Release yourself from the 3D linear time and go into synchronistic time. As I said last week, that time where you wait for the signs, you don't make your ego react and take the choices, make the calls, unless you really have to, because we still live in a 3D world. But whenever you're able to, listen to the signs instead of your mind. Listen to your heart. Listen to your higher self. Be quiet. Quiet your mind, so that you can hear your heartbeat. If you want to jump off the train and come to another level, time is now to find the stillness. Believe that you dare let go of your ego and listen to the needs of your higher self. Do you dare to become a servant for something bigger than the ego? Something that a part of you already know the road towards. Do you know what your call is? What is your call? Mercury retrograde is here to bring chaos and confusion to your winter holidays, they say. But not just that. It's also here to make you reconsider how you can communicate on another level with wisdom instead of the old patterns of communication. Benefits will come that exceeds the goals of finding peace once you dare to listen to your higher self. I swear to you, that journey is so much more beautiful than any journey your mind can imagine. Maybe you want you want to get out of a stressful life and into a peaceful life. Maybe you want mental clarity. Maybe you want to find this inner peace. But I tell you, if you allow yourself to find the right tools to get into your higher self, there's a prize that you will get far, far bigger than anything you can feed your ego with, something that will last. I found my way through following the signs of synchronicity for 20 years. I used meditation, I used yoga, I used kindness above it all. I fell many times, fell through. But I got up again, and I continued to follow my dreams and my heart and inspire people towards kindness, towards their calling, towards the life that is natural for us to live in harmony and balance, in love and kindness, where joy lifts us up and cleans us, where we take responsibility in our relationships and live conscious relationships. But the choice is yours. You can make the difference around you, all around you, but you have to make the choice. The choice is yours every day, every time you speak to someone, every time you do anything. You can choose to be aware. You can choose to be in a meditative state or a 5D state where you feel that your body is just, what do we say? We call hylster in Danish. What is it called in English? Just a shell. The soul is so much greater, wider, bigger, and wiser. Write me privately if you want me to find a meditational teacher for free, a free one somewhere near you, no matter where you live, if you want to try to use this tool that I have. There are many tools. As long as you follow your heart, then you know you're on the right path. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu, as we say in Japan. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. Hugs. Neptune retrograde is also this month, or this week actually, that it goes forward again after 5 months. November 25th, it turned forward, to move forward. And Neptune rules over spiritual evolution, over personal transformations and dreams. When it goes retrograde, it takes away delusions and makes room for realities in these areas. Neptune retrograde will have pushed you into doing things and getting real, rather than just spending your time thinking and dreaming about your future in the areas it has been touching in your life personally. Neptune retrograde clash with the effects of Mercury retrograde because they are in square, and also for the qualities of these two. During Mercury retrograde, we're encouraged to take things slow, think everything through, and reflect, revise, reconsider. Uranus, who we also have in retrograde, is all about change, so different from Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde gives us the energy to get things done. It's been a good idea to still take things slow during the last 5 months, to not don't do or say anything big without giving it a lot of consideration. The Mercury retrograde can mess with our ability to have serious conversations, to truly understand what people are trying to say to us. 3 times a year it goes retro, changing speed in its orbit around the sun, making it look like it moves backwards. This change affects us all here on Earth. Communication, movement, and technology issues. Any general feeling of confusion gets to come up. On November the 16th, Mercury went retrograde for the last time this year. So this will have an effect on all of us. And it's not bad at all. It's not only bad. Because, of course, I'm standing here in an airport and everything is delayed, and I'm in another plane because the other plane didn't come, and so many things. But at the same time, I have been solving so many communication issues. Mercury retrograde is about taking things slow. That's why delays come, and thinking and reflecting upon the past. So this period isn't the best time to make a life-changing decision or to start something new, although you might be feeling certain changes due to the Venus now forward and Mars out of his cycle. But seen from the Mercury aspect, it's a good time to go over things, question your motives, and look into your soul. Speak with your higher self to see what you want to continue doing. Mercury retrograde gives us the opportunity to improve how we communicate our messages, our whole essence, and our energy vibrations to others. Reflecting and figuring out how to proceed with your life is a great way to end a year, a cycle, even though this year, or the new year, as we call it, isn't an astrological new year, because this is in Mars, where the astrological year cycle ends with Pisces, starts with Aries in the second part of March, and the latter part of March. But it's a really good starting point in getting a fresh start as we enter January, where Aries will also get back into his sign and start over new. Of course, Mercury retrograde will affect some more than others. Learning to walk again. Many signs have felt these times as learning to walk again, taking things slowly. I have heard 3 of my personal clients tell me these words during the last couple of weeks. I am learning to walk again. Not only learning to communicate all over, but to walk our talk. And physically, for me, with my knee operations, to walk again in a new way. Venus is in Libra, is moving forward. And until the 18th, she's still in her cycle. But she's finding balance. We are finding balance in our relationships. How is this going on for you? Now in December, we are going to have her in the sign of Scorpio once again. Interesting. Because this is another energy. She's at home here in Libra. But on the 2nd of December, she moves back into Scorpio to go very deep on a level where we will transform. Thank you.
No sigas las tendencias, sino tu corazón.